Okay, for the next sketchbook assignment, we're going to practice drawing in two-point perspective. You use two-point perspective when you're drawing a box or a box-like shape, a building, whatever, and instead of a whole plane being parallel to your drawing pad, could be over here, could be over here, could be here, but that whole plane, you can't see that whole plane. Instead, what is closest to you is a leading edge, like this, even if it's over here, even if it's over here. When there's a leading edge closest to you, that's when you're using two-point perspective. Do you see this angle and this angle, this angle and this angle? Those angles are all pointing towards each other, heading towards vanishing points on the right and the left. Can you see that? So to draw imaginary boxes in two-point perspective, we start with drawing a line, and that line represents this leading edge. So the top of the line will be a corner, and the bottom of the line is a corner. My lawnmower guys are here. Okay, so I've drawn an imaginary horizon line, and I've chosen where to put my right and left vanishing points on that horizon line. Remember, these vanishing points are actually, in real life, those are the outermost edge of the periphery of your vision to the right and to the left. Where that outermost edge of your vision meets your eye level or your horizon line, that is the vanishing point. Usually that would be, you'd have to be really far away from these boxes in order to actually encompass those two vanishing points on your drawing paper. But for our imaginary purposes, we're going to include them just to see how it works. So place them very close to the right and left edge of the page. Don't put them towards the center. Place them pretty far apart. So these three lines represent those leading edges of boxes that are closest to me. Draw one below, on, and above the vanishing point. So because this is this is an edge, a corner edge, an edge, the top is a corner and the bottom is a corner. And when you're drawing in linear perspective, the corners are like dots. You can connect to the vanishing point. So we'll pick a corner, we'll pick this top corner, and I will connect it to this vanishing point, and then I pick this bottom corner, and I will connect it to this vanishing point. And you get to watch my lawnmower guy. God bless him out there. Drawing in linear perspective is connecting the dots. Remember, this is something, a formula artists, really smart artists, figured out. So you follow the rules and it works out. If you don't follow the rules and you make up angles, it will look wrong. Just have to train your brain to slow down and remember the rules. Okay, so what I've drawn is a giant pizza box, right? Or a big platform that extends into infinity. It's huge. If this were like a big sheet cake, I want you to cut off just a corner piece of that sheet cake. And because it's all imaginary, you can decide how big or small you want to make it. I'm going to cut it off here and here. So I've just created an imaginary corner of this piece of cake I'm going to cut off from this giant box. The lines in two-point perspective for our purposes will always be totally vertical, perpendicular to the bottom edge of your page, or they will go to a vanishing point. So this is a back corner. It's already going to a vanishing point, so I will make it do the other thing it can do, which is be vertical. I'm going to do the other one too. Okay. Now I've drawn like a book, an open book, right? But I want to finish it in terms of a box. So I've invented another corner. This is a corner, and the lines will always go from a corner to a vanishing point, or straight up and down. If I went straight up and down, I'd go out of the realm of the box. So it's already going to this vanishing point, so that means I take it to that vanishing point. It's very follow the rules. If you do this a few times and you see how it works, then when you go To draw the boxes from observation, it will be in your mind. Ah, yes, these angles, in order to make sense and be structurally sound, must angle towards each other. It creates a top plane where if you didn't follow these rules, a lot of times people show a lot more of the top plane than you'd really see, because we just feel like it should be more. But you can see this looks accurate because it obeyed the rules. All right, so let's do another one. Let's pick one that's on the horizon line. So the bottom corner, weirdly, lined right up with the top of my other corner. So how about that? So it connects to this vanishing point already. Now I'm going to connect it to that vanishing point. You can erase, maybe I will, just so we aren't confused, the excess line. So they're just boxes floating in space. So you pick a corner and you take it to the vanishing point. It's connect the dots. Play by the rules. Okay, I did the bottom. Now I'm going to do the top. Same thing. Lay the ruler down, find a corner, line it up with the vanishing point, and connect the dots. I found my ruler, obviously. Okay. So now I've made a gigantic pizza box that's huge, that's on eye level with me. I want to make it shorter and cut it off into just a little square like this one, cube. So I'm going to cut it off here and I'm going to cut it off here. Just pick a spot. Remember, the lines can either go to a vanishing point or go totally vertically. I'm going to go vertical because it's the back edge. Erasing out some of my excess just to clear the air. Okay. A box in one-point perspective that is on eye level. If you were sitting right on eye level, or if you're drawing a building, you see you cannot see the top of this box, right? It's above your head. What happens is these angles, instead of pointing up to your eye level, they're pointing down to your eye level. Interesting. Okay, now the one above eye level. In this instance, as you can imagine, here we can see the top because we're above this box. Here we can't see the top or bottom because we're right on eye level. Here we will see the bottom of the box because it's hovering in space. Pick a corner, take it to the vanishing point. Connect the dots. And there it is. Now the same for the top corner of this box. Take it to the vanishing point. Okay, pizza box hovering above our heads, sheet cake. Let's cut it off the same as before. Just pick a spot where you're going to cut it off. And let's start by making those vertical lines. They'll be parallel to this line, and that will be the back edge. Remember, the lines in 2-point perspective, for our purposes, will always be straight up and down or go into a vanishing point. Okay, so I have this sort of open book hovering above my head, and I want to turn it into a box. This might be weird for you. Pick a corner and take it to a vanishing point. Pick a corner and take it to a vanishing point. I'm going to erase the excess. Some of it anyway. And there you can see 3 boxes in accurate perspective in space. The reason they look three-dimensional is because the angles agree on their vanishing points. This is the concept to have in your mind, that these angles, even though they look very extreme, they also look right. So if you think of the rules, you'll get closer to right. Okay, there you go.